everyone, welcome to Cat's Creations, where I have another new design to make what's on the wall or on the door behind me. So it is a super cute bunny butt using the Dollar Tree wreath frame. Or the Dollar Tree bunny head frame. So I'm going to show you how to put it together. I'm going to walk you through all the materials you're going to need. Some of the steps I've kind of we're going to just kind of chunk through them so we can get to the actual design stage. Because you don't need to see me glue certain things, you know, all the way around the wreath and that whole kind of thing. So you're just going to take it and do it at your speed, what works for you. And you know, I'm all about repurposing and finding new value in things that you might already have around you. So, hi Peggy. So I am going to pivot you down, but before I do so, if you like this design and you want to keep a copy of it on your page, click that share button down below and that'll go ahead and map that over to your Facebook page. And then once you head over to the Dollar Tree and pick up all of your supplies, you'll be able to come back and hopefully create multiple different versions of this, and I can't wait to see what you guys do. Also, if you are a first timer joining here, welcome. I'd like to ask you guys to click the follow button if you're not currently a follower of mine. That way, when we go live, it'll automatically notify you that, hey, Cat's Creations is now going live, and you can tune in and watch that tutorial. So, I'm going to pivot down really quick, so hang tight. Hi, Lorraine. She says, hi from New York on a snowy day. I'm just trying to make sure that everything is centered so that you all can see everything, making slight little adjustments, and we're done. Okay, so what you're going to need, obviously, Dollar Tree bunny frame, right? We've all been seeing these everywhere, and a lot of people are like, well, what can we do with them? I have already shown you one design that everybody loves, so I'm hoping that you guys are going to love this design equally just as much. I'm going to move you guys up just so you can see the whole end where I'm at, so that we got the end of his bunny ears. Jenny says, hi, how's the snow? It's melting, so we're done with the snow for at least the next 10 days, which is good. So there is that. All right, so Dollar Tree bunny free frame. Bunny tree frame, you will need one, just one, but double check your frames, because my friends, look what happens. I don't think you can see right there. It is a broken weld right here at the front, and it's not even where it's welded on the frame. I'm now noticing this frame, it's kind of welded at these weird places instead of welding it on the actual welds. So make sure if you're picking those up, just double check and make sure you don't have a split weld. I think you could still even do this design even if you happen to have that split there, because we're not going to need to worry about that. In addition to that, you will need one of these Dollar Tree microfiber cloths. You can find these in the automotive section at your Dollar Tree. When I found mine, they were actually hanging on like the little end caps in the automotive aisle, or sometimes you can find them in the cleaning aisle. You will need one. It is a 16 by 24 inch, so you'll need one of those. You will need a cotton ball. You can get these, I think Dollar Tree is actually starting to sell these in the craft section. I haven't seen them, but I haven't been looking for them either. If not, sometimes you can pick these up at Hobby Lobby, Joann's, Michael's, Walmart, or you can get creative and just make your own. I happen to have a bag of them left over from Christmas time when we do the Santa hats. They're like, what do they call them? Snowball. It's for indoor snowball fights is what it's called. So they're kind of squishy. And then you will need, find them, just stick them back in here. You will also need the Dollar Tree bunny feet. So if you haven't seen these, they're going to be in the seasonal section at the Dollar Tree. So we're going to be using these. And this time we are not going to be adding anything additional on our frame. Like, we're not going to extend our rabbit any further. We're just going to play within the confines of the frame itself. So there is that. And I think I've covered that. And then ribbon or whatever you want to embellish your bunny with. And also, if you happen to have some of this stuff, I have a ton of it from quilting days. But poly fiber fill stuff, some people have taken their pillows and repurposed the insides of their pillows. So, you know, if you're a crafter, you don't like to really throw anything out. So you could repurpose an old throw pillow too. I don't know if they have the fiber fill at the Dollar Tree. But, okay. I think I've covered all the materials. So we're going to be doing a lavender bunny instead of a hot pink bunny. And I'm going to show you some of the variations that we did to give me the opportunity to turn him purple instead of hot pink. But before we do that, let's go ahead and build the bunny. So you will need a piece of cardboard. And your cardboard is going to need to be, let me find my piece of cardboard here. I just took a 14 by 14 by 4-inch box and cut my box open, and then I try to make sure that there's nothing on either side. You know how sometimes when you're cutting your boxes, you have the label part here. I just sliced them right here, and then you can either build your bunny on the written side, or if you have a part that isn't like this, this is where the glue went on holding the entire box together, which is like this. I basically just cut those apart, and we're going to use this section of that. Let me give you the measurements so you know how big of a piece of cardboard or poster board or foam board or science board that the Dollar Tree carries, so you can pick that up there. This is a 19 by 14. And so if we look at our bunny frame, we need something that's going to fit so that we can draw a circle around the outside perimeter of our bunny frame. Am I missing any questions, Steve? No. Steve's building questions for me today. So you're going to take your pen. You're going to, oh, let's do this really quick. I like to put a gap between his ears so you can actually bend his ears, believe it or not. So let's put a gap there. I'm just going to ignore that because this is going to be my downside. Just like that. Up, over, draw around, go around the outside, like so. Okay? There we go. Put an X on that side, because if you don't, when you attempt to do the glue portion of it, your rabbit, if you flip him over, will not fit on the opposite side. Plus, you want to make sure that you're doing it to where the wreath, when we glue it, is concave. So the rounded side of your wreath is going to be glued down. So if you don't, it's going to be a little off. So I just put an X there. And then you can take box cutter, X-Acto knife, super sharp scissors, which I'm going to kind of use here really quick just to show you. We want to always make sure that we're erring on the outside. So if you're going to like skim some of your detail, make sure you go on the outside and not the inside. So super quick, all the way around the outside. Or you can take scissors and cut. I just don't have the time for that. I was like, this is too hard. So, and then also doing it with a thick corrugated box. You know, these are boxes meant for shipping. So these puppies are like 200 pound strength. So, just like that. Just like so. And you see how I'm going to the outer side? Just like that. And I need to put that in there so we have the section of the bunny's ears. Then, because my scissors don't go all the way through, you're going to sit here and cut the outside of your bunny out. I don't go all the way through because I get way too impatient and no one wants to be flipping that around. So I just make simple cuts, like right in here And right in here. Let's go ahead and go in right there.
Any questions, gals?
So if you have a really good box cutter and you're doing it off of like foam core board, poster board, it's going to go a lot easier for you. And I'm probably making my scissors dull doing that, but there's that. As you can see, we're almost through, but not quite, because it just doesn't work like that, right? It's always, the struggle has to be real. Okay, there's that one. All the way in. I'm just basically connecting the dots of where my scissors did not go. Like you can see, this one's pretty well cut. I just need some help getting through that last layer. Just like that. There's that part of the bunny. There's that. I'm going to come in and make this easier. And of course, you've got to have that last little section. That one's done. So you see how it's scored, but it's not cut all the way through. I just don't want to go back in and go around the whole thing again. Last little piece right here. Okay, we know that that side is our face-up side. So from here, you're going to take your hot glue gun and you're going to glue the cardboard to your frame. So I find that just by having a handful of clips, you're not going to be able to tack every single side. Like sometimes it's going to just be slightly off. So do the very best you can. The areas you want to pay really special close attention to is the area right here at his ears, because we want the frame to be able to adhere to his ears. I'm going to go ahead and do that in here. I'm going to hold it there. And yes, I do have my glue gun on hot, but you can see how the ears are just, you're going to have to kind of play with it and get it to glue. Did I already do the gluey side? So, by the power of magic, or by the power of well-prepared cat, ta-da! It's glued, okay? So we have glued our cardboard, and all I've done is gone all the way around, and then I also tacked it on the inside here, just to make sure that my frame in the center doesn't go anywhere. And you can tell, I mean, don't worry about it if it's bubbly on here. None of that stuff is going to show when doing that. Who does that? Janie said, be careful when cutting thick material. I ended up with a trigger finger on my hand, index, and right fingers. So, yeah. So, hopefully, like I said, I scored most of mine, so it was just a matter of cutting through the extra backing on the back, and then it just made it super simple. So, if you could get the foam board, it's like a really thin, probably like 1/8 of an inch foam. You're just going to cut all the way around it, and you'll be perfect. Once that's done and you're glued, you're like ready for the next part, which is taking your microfiber, and I'm going to cut the little ends that hold everything together, and then just make that process so much easier. There we go. That way we can just pull everything apart, and you'll notice that on your microfiber cloth you have a fuzzy side and then you have a flat side, whatever your preference is. Some people would rather have it more like the little pill side. Other people would like it more like the brushed cotton. How did I do mine? I think I did the brush side on the one that on the door. So we're going to go ahead and do brushed side here, and you'll notice that you have just enough to cover your frame, right? You can kind of see the outline of our bunny frame here, kind of, right? So we are going to start with his ears first. So we are going to take fabric scissors and we are going to cut in and leave a slight margin. Boy, those scissors just do not do well. I'm saying probably about maybe 1/2 inch. And don't worry about like if your cuts are perfect or not. Our goal is just go ahead and cut one bunny ear out. And I'm going to go right down the middle. Right here. And I'm going to use my finger to tell me when I hit that middle section, which is right there. Okay? So I'm doing one side at a time. So I'm going to flip this over. And I'm going to glue my bunny's fabric onto his ear. So I'm just straightening everything out. I want to make sure that I have enough to go around the tip. And then we're going to just take this, run a bead of glue all the way along the edge. You can take silicone fingers, whatever you'd like, and just make sure that's all nice and attached right there. Do the same thing on the other side. And no, Cat does not have the next step prepared. I only had 2 of my microfiber cloths, so I did one as the example, and I just wanted to see if it was possible to do it. I'm going to push that all the way up, right in here. And then right here at the tip, I'm just going to do a slight little overlap so I can get the tip more rounded to his bunny ears. So just like that.
And since it's cardboard, you could even bend one of the ears if you wanted to.
Yeah, I don't like to do the whole bendy ear thing. Yeah. I'm trying to keep it as stiff as possible because then that just makes everything look great. Okay, then we're going to do the other thing. You can cut it from this side as well. It's whatever you prefer. And we'll save that. Who knows what we'll end up using that for. Something, I'm sure. So I'm trying to give myself a pretty big margin. Right about there. Same thing. We're going to go right alongside. Let's go ahead and get it in here a little bit. And I'm trying really hard not to pull the fabric because I want him to stay kind of fluffy. I don't want him to have a stretched bunny look. So I'm just really pulling it up and tucking it under. Same thing here. Lift. And we're getting that up in there. I'm going to have to go back in and cut that just a smidge more. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and trim his ear so that we can take and pull that down. So we can give him nice little rounded bunny ears. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing that we did before. Those scissors really are not good. I'm going to come in here, just like that, to get rid of the excess fabric. But I do need to come in so that we can tack this edge right in here. because the ears right here at the ear joint is like the most critical part. Just like this. So I'm going to go in and do the same thing. I'm going to go around the larger end right here. But before I do that, I want to show you what it looks like on the other side. So we have, there's our cardboard. Our bunny ears are nice and plush. So all that glue that you saw in here, you don't see it on the edge of the bunny ears. So this is why I'm saying we want to make sure that our ends right here by his ears are nice and tight, because this section here in the middle is what we're going to stuff with the polyester fiber fill or cotton fiber fill or whatever you're going to stuff it with. And we want to make sure it doesn't go up into his ears, because realistically we need everything to stop at his ears, because we want a fluffy bunny butt, but we don't want fluffy ears. You know, rabbits don't really have fluffy ears, so to speak. Okay, so I'm just going to fine tune this edge right here just by pulling those in, just like that. So we have a definition there and a definition here. Just like that. So that when I flip it back over on the other side, you'll see we've pulled the ears in. So we've given it, you know, we've removed the slack that was there. Now, what I do here, some people have different ways of doing it. You could technically glue it all the way until the very, very bottom. But I have a tendency of like, I want to see what it looks like as I'm stuffing it. So what I'll do is I'll just take a small piece of fiber fill. And remember, we don't want his ears stuffed. So we're going to keep our polyfill from going into the ear section. So it's nice if you take it and just kind of bunch it. That way it doesn't get all lumpy. You don't have a lumpy bunny butt. Okay, and I'm just kind of going up and around, stuffing the lower half of where I want it to be. And how you stuff it is going to be entirely up to you. You might want it more flat. You might want it more fluffy. It's up to you. So I'm just making sure that it looks smooth and round all the way through. And then once you start getting it to where you want, go ahead and glue it a little bit more so that we're down to that edge where, you know, you can make your final adjustments and pull those in. So I'm doing the same thing. I'm just going to tighten all this up. Glue stick. Okay. Right in here. Nice bead of glue. And I'm going to pull it from the other side so it's nice and smooth. And all I'm doing is just pulling from the bottom, like so. Okay, we're going to go back in and trim all that around, but just take an opportunity and make sure, you know, is it looking the way you want? Again, keep it here. You might want to backfill some of your sides a little bit. Like right there, just seems a little flat to me. Okay, pull him back if you need to, because this is where his bow is going to go. It's right on the top. A little bit more to get it down here in his actual lower half of his area. And again, just kind of play with it. Pull it all the way around, you know, pull the ends tight. Do you like the way that looks? Do you want to add more to it? Because this is the opportunity to add more before you glue everything down. So I'm trying to make sure it's nice and rounded and smooth. And I'm going to put a little bit more here at the bottom. So as I would pull this around, I don't want this to be thin. I want it to be full. So I'm just adding.
Michelle, it's a Dollar Tree bunny frame. Helen asked, would this wreath go outside?
No.
No.
This would not be an outside wreath. unless you have a covered patio, absolutely. Or if it's a nice spring sunny day, sure. But no, this is geared more for inside. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill in my whole section. And so what I'm doing is I'm just gonna be pulling everything from the bottom and up, just like so, because I don't want it folded. So, and I don't want any creases in there, so that when we flip him over, we shouldn't have a fold. It's the cardboard that's driving me batty. Okay, so see now how he has a nice fluffy honey bud, just like that. Everything's nice and smooth. Looks just like the back end of a rabbit. And so that's what we're consciously thinking about. So we wouldn't put ribbon in here, because that would be if you're facing a rabbit, right? That you would see the insides of their ears. So if they're running from you, you're not going to see insides of their ears.
Unless you're using felt?
No, I'm using a microfiber cloth from the Dollar Tree. And so now I'm just going around and trimming off all my excess. Just like this. And we'll trim that. And that one kind of went way up there, but we can fix that. So this just got tagged. We will cut that off. I will make sure that we have more than enough down here to make sure he doesn't spring a leak. Again, you can keep cutting until you use up all your slack. Just like so. And I like taking the edge, the, what do you call it? The finished edge off of there, just so he's nice and fluffy all the way through. There we go. So now, nice and fluffy. Let's go ahead and tack that down. So if there's any imperfections, or you would just want to add extra glue to tack that microfiber down, there's the front. Okay, so three things, I think. Now we need to decide. You'll have to decide, because it's going to be, everybody's going to have a different preference for how they want to decorate it. Technically, when you do the bunny feet, they're not going to go this way, right? Unless, I guess, you want to make a weird looking bunny. I guess you could add two eyes, maybe 2 eyes, some sort of nose. But if he was running from you, his feet would not be facing this direction. His feet would actually be facing, let me see, I have to do it this way so I can see. His feet would actually be going like so. Like this. So that's how you would see his feet, running in away from you. And then your cottontail is going to be based on your preference. You can cotton ball here. Some people have their cotton ball way down below. To me, it just doesn't feel right. It needs to be up a little bit higher for like his bunny butt. So what I do with my cotton balls, I make it flat as I can on one side, and then I fluff everything else up. So when I add that, he's gonna have a fluffy bunny butt. Did I move it?
No, some people are just saying they can't see the top.
Oh, so that's the way that portion's gonna look. Steve even asked me, he said, so can you outline his feet like we did the last bunny? Well, yes, you could, but the yarn that I have, it's a cream color. So when we use cream color, it doesn't look good when you add that to the bunny. I guess his feet could have gotten slightly dirty, but I prefer to keep like the same color palette. So this would have to be a white, and this is more of an off-white. So we're going to do it.
Did you say that when you get the feet, you get a package of 10, I think? Right?
Yes, you get a package of 10 feet. So it's enough for you to make 5 rabbits, depending upon which rabbit you're going to make. So that is technically how a rabbit should look running from us. And I said I really wanted to do one that was purple. And I was like, I could do purple, but then he has like these hot pink feet. So I was like, what could I do to change the color of his feet? Well, the first thing I did is I measured how wide is the widest part of his paw print. And it's just under 2 inches, which means, where's my ribbon? Oh, right here. That if you have 2.5 inch ribbon, you have ribbon that is wide enough to put on his paw prints. Ergo, let me find him. Where's the other one? Here it is. I changed him out and I turned them purple. So I just took the same color ribbon and I gave him purple feet, right? So we'd have purple there and we have purple here. And now we have purple rabbit feet. So when you guys are thinking, oh, that sucks, all we can do is hot pink rabbit's feet. Nope, as long as you have 2.5 inch plain ribbon, that's the one you're going to need for the widest point. If you have 1.5 inches, you're fine on the little toes. So the toes are all the same size. The pad of his paws are a little different. So we're doing purple because I want a purple bunny. So, once you determine where you're going to lay everything, you're going to, I'm going to flip this around for me, so I make sure that this is where I want my bunny to be, and you're going to look at how far down the feet are, right? I'm going to pan you guys up just slightly so you can see. So, if I pull this back, this tells you how much glue I'm going to need to apply on that felt, which is right about here. So I am going to hot glue, and then I'm going to flip this over. And I'm going to add that to my bunny. And yes, the glue will go through the felt paw prints. I have already discovered that. So when you're gluing it, put enough on there and then tack it and then just kind of back off a little bit. So here we're going to about here. And we want to make sure that all of our felt area is covered with hot glue. Just like so. Nice, cute purple bunny feet. Just like that. Okay. And then I'm going to glue his tail on. Because I know I want his tail kind of right in the center. It can kind of be a little bit off. Same thing. You're going to take a lot of glue. And you're going to saturate your glue, place your cotton ball, and then give it a minute to hold it. So now he has a plushy bunny butt. So it's kind of like stuffed bunny butt. And I'm working on one to make an authentic looking rabbit face, but I'm going to have to order his eyes because I'm all about trying to make it seem like it's set up the way that it's supposed to. So there we go. I'm going to flip this around so you guys can see it.
Karen, the paw prints, we just said it, but they're Dollar Tree. You can get 10 in a package for $1.25.
And Nancy says, are we putting that in a wreath? You could, but I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm just making this just as a super cute little door hanger. This would be cute on a child's room door. Now that you know how to change out the color of the paw print, you can do blue for a boy's room or black or gray or whatever color you want. So obviously we're going to work on our bow for the rabbit. And so the ribbon that I have chosen is going to be just that purple. And then we're going to do a shimmery, like glittery gingham and white. And then we're going to do this white, purple, and I can't even figure out what, that was almost like a magenta color. So we're going to separate them by that. This ribbon, I already knew that I had cut into it, so I'm going to pull out the cuts. So we're going to put the shimmery purple on top. So super simple bow. So we're going to use the bow dabber for that. Just because it's easy for it to hold. So we're doing the purple down. So we're going to take the 1.5" ribbon. These are all from Craft Outlet, by the way. You're going to do your dovetail, which is bring your wired edges together. You're going to cut from that folded side all the way down to that wired point. And we want 6 inches. So 6 inches. Is that right? 6, 5.5. Yes, 6. Because I was like, what was my shortest? Oh, that was 5.5. 5. So we're going to twist. We're going to place that on the inside. And we're going for 4.5 inch. Is it 4.5? Let me look. I'm going to do 4. So we're going to do 2 at 4 and then 1 at 3.5. So all I'm doing is bringing my ribbon back and then pulling this in and making sure that I have 4-inch loops. And then we're taking this out to, what did we say?
You said
6, right? I think I said 6. Yes, 6. Same thing, dovetail cut. See what happens when you get into patterns where you're like, everything is the same. The cuts are the same. The measurements are the same. Okay, now we're doing solid purple. Technically, rabbits have 4 toes on their back feet. Well, maybe he lost one on each foot. Or he's got one that's hiding. Not everything has exactly. But at least it's as close to realistic as it could possibly be. So the next one we're going to do 5.5 inches. And we're going to do 4-inch loops too. So there's 5.5. Remember, our bottom bows are already set at 4. So we can cheat and put our fingers in and give it a pull. Go up and around. And you could add carrots, you could add Easter eggs, you could add whatever you'd like. Undoubtedly, I'll probably have somebody say, well, technically his bow should be in the front. Maybe he flipped it around and he was running the opposite direction. It doesn't always have to be perfect. Why is that magnetic? That was weird. It was like attracted to the ends of my scissors. Oop. There's that. Okay, purple's down. Now we're going to do the gingham. Now I finally figured out how I'm going to get the black and white. I finally figured that out. I was like, ugh, that's cute, but how am I going to change the colors? Well, that's what happens when you play in your shop and you just do self-discovery. So, a hint for those of you that are changing the color, don't glue your ribbon. Glue this area and then attach your ribbon to the felt. If you do it the other way around, it's a little harder to get it to stick where you need. So if you take your glue gun and just kind of smear it in here and then put your ribbon on top, it'll be perfect. Made that mistake the first time. So, okay, last one with the purple and white gingham. This is like a sparkly. So I had somebody who asked for sparkly, so we're doing sparkly now. And then this is going to be 5 inches with a 3.5 inch loop. So just a touch smaller. Measure. Right there. Can you hand me a white pipe cleaner if you have one over there, Steve? I was looking in my little stash and I don't have any right here. We're going out to 5 inches, which is right on that line. Thank you. We're going to do dovetail. Just like so. Just like that. I'm going to do white because I want it to kind of blend into the top. So we're going to kind of do our little U shape. We're going to pick this up. We're going to slide this over. We're going to twist. That's done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull all my tails down. That would be super cute if you added it into a wreath. See, you can make your own wreath attachments.
Yeah.
Right? I never thought about doing that. I'm like, no, this would be great on a classroom door, you know?
Okay, you don't have to get technical.
What?
She needs it cute. Technically, rabbits have 4 toes on their back feet.
That's why I said, I'm like, it's so hard.
Maybe they're overlapping.
Or maybe he just lost one on each. Or he was just, he was like a Nemo thing, right? He didn't have quite all his, he was born special. You know? I'm going to take and pull this one up so I have a little bit of a difference. So I have one up, one down. So I took the bottom ones, separating them, putting the gingham in the inside. And it can go whichever way you want. You can have your purples come out. You can have them stream down. So this is going to go, honestly, wherever you'd like. You can put it between his ears. You can put it on top of his ear. You can put it over his tail. It's your design. So I hate to like say, here's how you should place it. I just stick mine right in between their ears. So because our pipe cleaner, this should have been a thicker pipe cleaner, because our pipe cleaner can go right through this microfiber, we can hit that rail. So I'm just going to bring this nice and tight. And guess what just became the hanger? The pipe cleaner on the back. So when I flip this over, here's my pipe cleaner. I'm going to take it. I'm going to do a nice little, let's use up the rest of our pipe cleaner right here. I want to make sure we've used it all the way up. So we have a nice little hanger right here. And there is our adorable lavender bunny that is perfect for indoor decoration. Again, would this fit storm door? I'm trying to, I think with his tail, maybe if you made his tail a little, maybe made his butt not quite so full. But if you wanted to, you could technically smush him in between the door. And, I mean, we're just talking about the only thing that's going to be smushed is this little cottontail. But look at how adorable that is. Is that not super cute? And it's so easy to make. You can make them in all colors. And I can see grandparents already going, okay, I know I'm making a pink one for this granddaughter and a purple one for that granddaughter and a black and gray checkered one for another grandson. It's super easy to make. I'm trying to think. This would probably not be something that you could work with seniors at in a senior center unless you already had built the little bunny and had made his, whatchamacallit, his stuffed him already. Had him already on the cardboard. And then they can design and they could cut out his little paw prints and then you could help them design the bows. But yeah, super simple. So what questions do you guys have? And it's literally that simple. You're so welcome.
Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that comment.
Jessica, this is so cute. One of my favorite colors.
I know. I love purple too. And it just looked weird. Like, look at how weird this would look if we had pink. I mean, it's not horrible, but the purple definitely makes it something different. Yeah. You could have. What is it? Helen said, do you have a video on how to make the feet? No, the feet come pre-done. Helen, they're at Dollar Tree. I just changed the color by cutting out ribbon to match the size of the little toes and then just gluing a different color on. So that's how I changed it. And now you know how you can change it if you want to do it on the bigger design, like where we did the front-facing rabbit. Now you know how to change his little feet.
And technically, once you have one package, if you have felt, you could just make your own.
Exactly.
You can just cut out white. And...
yeah, you have the perfect template. Like, yeah. I just started playing with it because one of my pink had like some discoloration on it. It was like a fluorescent orange. So I was like, ooh, that's hideous. How am I going to use that? And I'm like, I wonder if I made a template and just cut these out. I wonder if I could change the color of the paw prints. And yes, as long as you have 2.5-inch ribbon, literally that is the diameter. So, so yeah, I will flip these so you can see both. So here's pink and purple. Pink and purple. They're all done. My Dollar Tree does not have the bunny feet yet. Did you get those this year? Marilyn said, yes, Marilyn. I did get them this year.
We just got them like a week and a half ago. Right?
Yeah, like Steve literally picked it up on his way home from work. He stopped at a Dollar Tree and they had handfuls of packages. So he picked up 3 packages, not realizing that there was like 10.
Yeah.
Which is enough to make 5, but now, voila. I mean, I don't know if they still have the microfiber things, but you should be able to find microfiber cloth, or if you're really super creative, you could just do faux fur and make faux fur and do a faux fur bunny on it.
I might have to check a couple different Dollar Trees if you have a couple close to you.
Right. So, any questions you guys have on how to make the bunnies?
Do you want to put one up to the door? Or no?
Yeah, I'll put the purple one on the door because we started with the pink. So now we'll go purple. I'm trying to get it to hang to where it's even. Because my hanger on the door is out so wide. Yikes. So I'm trying to get it to hang more straight. I guess that's about as straight as it's going to get. Yeah. What you can't see is how far out the screw comes. Because I have to make sure that things don't fall off if I put them up. But there's that one. There's this one. So you guys could make either or. I can't wait. I hope you guys will email me and show me your creative, your creative creations. Because I'd love to see what you guys put together. So I'm working on another one for using that bunny frame from Dollar Tree to create a very realistic bunny face. So as soon as I have that together and I get the real looking eyeballs in, because that's really what I want, is like the little, I don't have stuffed animals. Our kids grew up. So otherwise I would borrow a few from a stuffed animal and use those.
And Lynn said you're the best wreath maker out there.
Aw, thanks, Lynn. All right, everyone. Don't forget, private group just opened. I opened it early just so you guys could join me. So if you'd like, is it pinned?
Yes, it is pinned.
Pinned down to the bottom, catscreationsandmore.com. Come join my group, and then you get the detailed materials list, including all the item numbers. So you can just order all the stuff from Dollar Tree and have it shipped to your house.
And years worth of videos.
Yeah, all the way from 2018. All right, everyone. Well, have an amazing day, and I will see you on Thursday at 10 a.m. So we go a little bit early, 12 Central, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. I hope you guys will join me then, and I'm hoping to have something else maybe to share with you then. Bye for now, everyone.